Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is mainly going to be about parking heaters, or as a lot of you know them, diesel heaters. And everything that I can show you guys and tell you guys for tips and tricks on how to keep them alive. Because as you all know, I have installed these diesel heaters in a number of people's vehicles, all different shapes and sizes. And with the winter coming on, it is no doubt that we need to make sure these things are in good running order to make it through the winter. Well, you guys, here's the first sign of it. It's 6 a.m. here in Calgary. I'm getting ready for work, and look what I just seen at the top of my van. Yep, Dim's icicles. So it must have got pretty chilly last night. And don't be fooled by the beautiful colors of the Calgary city scene right now. Currently, it is late October, and normally we have snow by now. Thankfully, we don't. But with little icicles forming on my roof rack, I know it's not far off. So, it's time to finally get out my own diesel heater. This heater was the first one I ever got, as a donation from Chrome at VanLife. But lately it's been acting up, so it's time for it to go. This little heater is a 2 kilowatt, and I've got to say it's been my favorite overall. I'm not sure if it had a VanLife angel looking after it, but this one has worked like a champ with no parts needed for repair. I take it apart, I clean it out with some brake clean, and I put it back together. One of the best tips that I can give to somebody who's thinking about getting a diesel heater is they need to run on high in order for their burn chambers to stay cleared out. And for most people, a 2 kilowatt heater like this is the best way to go, because you can run it on high and it won't heat you completely out of your vehicle. With me, I'm a complete wimp for the cold, so I considered the 2 kilowatt my summer heater, and this 8 kilowatt was supposed to be my winter heater. Unfortunately, it only worked for a month and then hasn't worked since. That is the reason it's on my test bench. But today, I've got a new diesel heater in from Vevor themselves. Vevor has contacted me and wanted me to do a review video on one of their new lines of diesel heaters. So with both my heaters being down right now for maintenance, I took them up on that opportunity to check out their new line of diesel heaters. I decided to go with the standalone unit because it would replace my redneck little kind of test stand right here. This heater will actually end up inside of my van in the floor where you seen the first one. And then once I can get a rebuild kit for the 2 kilowatt or the 8 kilowatt, I'll have them both for backups or one to give away to somebody in need. But for right now, let's dig right into the new box that came straight from Vevor. I was actually so excited that I even broke my golden rule, which is to always try and test them or at least fire them up before installing them into a vehicle. I've been doing this recently because I've noticed that they are extremely unreliable. And I say that in the sense of right out of the box, sometimes they even need maintenance. I've seen ones that have even come like Aaron the DJ's, where the fan shroud is touching the casing, and if you were to try and fire them up without noticing, could possibly burn itself down or shut itself off, possibly doing some damage. So please make sure to inspect your diesel heaters before installing. On the standalone units, this is where you would normally test to make sure that everything is working. By applying a 12-volt connection to the positive and negative wires and filling it up with diesel, you're able to test it outside to make sure everything's working before mounting anything into your van and cutting any kind of holes. The whole standalone unit itself, minus the diesel, probably weighs about 8 to 9 pounds. That's even including this small box of goodies, which holds your exhaust, your intake, your heat vents, and also all of the clamps to hold it all together. When taking it apart for a first inspection before firing it up is pretty simple. You just remove the 4 little clamps holding the tin body to the base. The fuel cap feels tight, but if you maneuver it enough, you can actually get it to slide past. Once the heater is exposed, you can get a good idea on how everything works underneath the tin face. As I bring you all in closer, you can see how the fuel pump is mounted and the angle that is set at. This is to ensure there are no fuel bubbles making it through the lines. And if you remove or change anything with the heater, make sure that fuel pump goes back in the same angle. If not, eventually, the heater will send you a fuel delivery code and shut off. Another thing I noticed on this standalone unit is that they used rubber lines and good clamps on one end, and then the green line and crappy clamps on the other side. But it seems to be that everything is here and inside this kit. Thankfully, as I have had kits in the past that were missing parts. But now, after looking everything over, it's time to take all of this and mount it inside the van. Let's go. And let's also pray this one works for more than a month. Those who have followed me know that this one gave up on me just a month into use last year in -30. And you can say at that point in time, I was very upset with the quality and reliability of these heaters. But with another winter coming, we've got to try it again. With the experience of doing multiple diesel heaters and also having my van already prepped for one, it was a pretty quick swap. Normally on first startup, I'll let the heater do its thing just to get everything moving. And once after a few minutes have passed, then you can kind of dive in to the settings. But while it was firing up for its first time and I let it run, I noticed that the temperature it read on the screen didn't match the temperature of the thermostat I had in my van. And with that issue in the auto setting, it wouldn't allow it to come up to the temperature that I had set because it thought it was already there. So I switched it over to the manual mode to see if it would increase the internal van temperature, but mainly to see if it would actually run on high, because as I mentioned before, these things need to run on high at least for a while before shutting off in order to prevent the heater from carboning up. The more they're ran on high, the less carbon buildup that you'll get, preventing maintenance down the road. Unfortunately, this one would not come up to temp and does not like running on high.
Thanks for using. I wish you a safe journey.
I have contacted the company and mentioned to them about the faulty temperature sensor, even just asking for replacement parts and I could do it myself. They simply said they would just accept my honest review video, leaving me with yet again another flawed diesel heater, with winter knocking on our doorstep. Quite literally, as only the next morning I awoke to this. First snowfall in Calgary, and even the buses are having a hard time getting up the hills. Stay warm, stay safe, everybody. And from that moment, my day was filled with people either completely enjoying the snow or having the worst day of their life not being prepared. But for those who are and have been trying to prepare as best they can for winter by getting a diesel heater themselves, I tried to make my rounds to make sure everyone's heater was working. And like I mentioned to Vevor in our email exchange, for vehicle dwellers, heat can make the difference between life and death. If you're completely reliant on this diesel heater, or any type of diesel heater in general, and you do not have some sort of backup heat source, you could be in trouble very fast. I know all too well what it feels like to be laying in bed only to hear the powering down sound of my diesel heater. In temperatures such as -40 like we experience here in Alberta, you could have minutes before the temperatures start to drop.
This is a Blue Eddy AC50. It's -10. This thing's been sitting in -15. Let's see if it'll fire. Okay, I'm gonna turn it on. Let's try.
Try to get some heat going in that puppy, huh?
She's cold, bud. Ooh. It is really cold. So it's currently drawing 105 watts currently. 106.
And that'll be because of the glow plug.
Yeah.
And then once the glow plug heats up in these things, they usually come.
It's trying anyway.
Yeah, they'll come down to around 20 to 15 watts.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Any smoke?
I don't see none.
Well, it's trying. It's telling me that it's going.
Oh, there's your fuel pump. And we've actually cut a small hole into his box right around here for the exhaust to flow down through. And see, these are the moments where if these things fail, it's like you're going back into the cab to try and warm up.
Yeah. I'm hoping this works, just to keep my equipment warm. I do have a show this weekend.
What are you
It's
telling
going to
me?
be minus 20. So if I can keep my stuff warm back here, when I take it into the venue where I'm going, this is going to save it from freezing.
There you go. And where are you having your show this weekend?
Olds, Alberta.
Olds, Alberta. So if you guys are in Olds, Alberta,
Big Halloween show,
where at?
Bulldog Saloon.
All right. So if you guys are around Olds and around the Bulldog
Come
Saloon,
say hey.
go check them out, man.
Let's see.
Oh,
We got juice.
there we go. So the Blue Eddy. The Blue
We got
Eddy.
up to 120, and it's now dropped down to 30 watts. 28 watts now.
Not bad. So it will come down more. But the glow plug just kicked
We're
out.
at 32 watts, and it's starting to crank up. Do you have any smoke?
Nope, no smoke.
It's still cold, still blowing cold.
So as long as it's running good, you shouldn't see any smoke.
We'll see.
But they are pretty unpredictable.
Oh, I see it. She's puffing great.
Oh
The burner's going.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of black, buddy. That one.
Yeah, that doesn't smell lovely.
Yeah, look, it's like blowing black. That's
Well,
not.
diesel smoke black.
Yeah, I
And they're
know.
pumping
But
lots of fuel.
dang. I've seen these things blow white, but I haven't seen them blow too much black. I mean, they do coal up, and then the exhaust is black on the inside, so it kind of makes sense. But
Has the black stopped?
seems to have.
This is the first time I've ever tried to cold start one of these. Yeah, that smells not great. Oh, I got heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's blowing warm.
Nice.
Yeah. Don't leave my hand there.
Yeah. But you're getting like a smell. I see that's strange because you shouldn't have any. I mean, obviously the door is open, but
Yeah.
all of the fumage should be outside. There should be no reason to have fumes on the inside. We are having wind this way right now, so the exhaust is going that way. Really, you shouldn't have any smell or odor in here. Whew, that's cold.
It's cold. Yeah, she's puffing a little dark.
Yeah.
It looks like gray.
So
But
now,
it could be because of how cold it is trying to dry start it like this.
right.
When it was like, it's been sitting in minus 20 overnight, last few nights. Minus 15.
She probably needs to do a good warm up.
Yep.
Now
Oh,
close.
starting to slow down.
There you go. Now the ampage should drop on what she's pulling.
So let's see. Wattage.
Yeah,
We're
water.
at 25 now.
Same.
27.
Yeah, so there you go.
And I taped the plug, just so you know I did that. Just because it's kind of the plug I used, it's got a big spring on it, and it kind of popped out a bit. So I tried to make sure I taped it in there, just so it doesn't come out. Because when it does, what happens, Bruce? When the battery gets disconnected from this without a cool down, what happens?
Tries to melt itself down.
It will melt.
Yeah, because the internal, like all of that heat has nowhere to go once you just disconnect the power. The fan has a little cool down process it's supposed to do, and if you disrupt that, it doesn't get a chance to. As Aaron seen there the other day.
Yeah, when it shut off accidentally.
Yeah, when you plug it back in.
Hot.
Yeah, and then when you plug it back in, sometimes they'll remember they've just been shut off and try and cool themselves off real quick. Because if not, there's a little memory board on top of the diesel heater on the inside.
Yeah, that's a good tip. Don't start pushing the buttons
Yeah,
to try to get it to come back.
just
You have to let it do its thing.
let it cool down, let it recover, and then turn it off and try again.
Let's turn this up a bit.
There you go. Close your tailgate. Might keep a little bit of extra heat in.
Anyway, washer fluid. There we go.
There's Clubhouse.
Hopefully. Burn chamber says 158 Celsius. Okay, I've got it on max. Drawing 33 watts on max. This is a good test for you guys to know how much power you're going to need to keep that running. So 33 watts.
And that's pretty impressive for that Blue Eddy too, because I mean, like you said, it's cold.
It is cold.
It's been sitting in the cold,
Yep.
and it fired that thing up, no problems.
Yeah.
Well, you need some kind of bed sheet there,
I need my
bud.
new blankets back. I washed some of them. I took them out to wash them, so some are missing.
Work truck life, man.
Work truck life.
That's it.
I used to have a thermometer in here, but I. Here you go.
I got one you can use.
You have a thermometer?
Yeah,
Can I borrow it?
I'll grab it. There you go. She's a manual gauge one. Ugh.
Sweet. Okay, so it came out of Bruce's, so it's gonna be like a billion degrees. Bruce likes things warm. Let's put it here and just let it cool
Yeah,
off.
so that it registers the same side. What is it saying right now?
It says 14.
I'm getting there. It won't take long outside. It is chilly today. We got a pretty good dump of snow here lately. And someone's been in this parking lot spinning donuts and stuff, so don't mind those marks.
Oh, now she's warming up.
There you go.
Ooh. So according to I have it's called the blue controller on my Vevor. It's a blue one. It registered at -10 when we started. I'm now at 2 degrees Celsius, which is 33 or 34 Fahrenheit. 33, I believe.
That's probably been about 6-7 minutes.
So we've got about a 12-degree increase. Yeah, in the past 5 minutes.
What's your Blue Eddy saying?
32 watts, and I'm on max.
Nice.
So we're doing okay. It's going back and forth between 31 and 33 on full. And I can feel it's warm.
He's not shivering in there anymore, so he's feeling better.
Within 5 minutes, this diesel heater. But please remember, Bruce and I had to take this whole thing apart, and we had to make sure the fuel line wasn't kinked. We had to make sure the wires weren't wrapped around the fan and around the exhaust.
And your fan was also touching the casing.
And the fan, we had to take that little cover off where the on the heater it has that top piece, that panel that comes off. We had to take that apart and spread it open so the fan could spin freely. We had to move some pieces back just to make sure that it spun well. So if you buy a self-contained unit, make sure you take it apart first and look at it carefully.
As if not, if Aaron hadn't taken that apart that day, it would have melted itself down.
It would have melted.
Yeah.
It would have aired out.
Yeah.
It would have seen the motor couldn't turn. It would have got really hot, and it would have aired out, and I would have had to send it back. If they would take it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one cost me just over a couple hundred Canadian. At the time, it was on sale. There was a discount code Vevor had on Amazon. Yeah, it is starting to warm up in here.
Nice, dude.
I can feel it. The blue controller says it's 4 degrees now. Celsius, which is 35. Hey Bruce, you want to know what sucks?
What's that, buddy?
When your wipes are cold.
Friend Willie showed up to the party. He also lives in his truck.
Oh,
It's right here.
I got a man door, so I don't have.
Yeah, I love that. I saw you back in with that. I was like, that'd be a lot easier than stepping into this thing.
Well, fucking yeah.
Say hi, Willie.
Hey, buddy. Yeah.
It was a good time to test that diesel heater, though.
Yeah, this is a really good time. So we're checking the temperature. So it's right about 3 degrees on there, but on here it says 7.
You got the whole door open.
Yeah, the door.
Yeah.
If I close that,
But if you had Willie's
so
man door,
I do
man,
have another fan to help circulate the heat.
yeah.
It's a nice setup.
Thanks. This is a full slide underneath here.
That's
Underneath
awesome.
this.
Fancy that, like chrome UV.
Yeah. That was actually one of the ones I bought when I very first started watching him back a few years.
He just put out a new video, but it said I think his motor is done.
Yeah.
It's done.
Which sucks. Time to add the
it won't spoil
Godzilla
it.
motor. Woohoo!
It's kind of struggling to stay at about 7 degrees Celsius. It's dropping down between 6 and 7, and I think it's just because this is open. As we know, heat rises, so I think I'm losing a lot of my heat through the top. So I'm going to try closing this just to see if this is going to start coming up some more. The temperature here, it's about 5 degrees Celsius on the dial there, and 6 and 7 on the blue controller. I'm still at full. I still have 100%. We've been running for about 15, 20 minutes, something like that. It's getting nice and warm in here, but it's only reading 6 or 7 degrees. So I'm going to try to close this for a couple minutes and see what happens.
Okay. See you in the morning. How's the temperature, dude?
I went up to 10 degrees Celsius in about 2 minutes with that closed.
Wow.
So it just proves the heat really, really does escape out the top.
Like it.
So if you're doing this at all, make sure that you've got good insulation in the roof, because that's where your heat's going to sit. It went up pretty quick, and the burn chamber also went up faster too. I also turned on a little fan just to try to keep the air moving.
Cool, buddy, cool. Well, it's safe to say I think you'll survive overnight if you were to have that door closed perfectly.
Yeah, I think if it's all closed up, and I try to keep the seals closed and tight, you know, it might take an hour or two. It'll warm up.
Perfect.
What I want, right? That's the height I want, right? This is the man door, see? That's great. We used the glass, but I was drunk one night and I came out of the car. I opened it up and I slipped, I had my hand on it and just smashed.
Oh.
And that little thing there, they say it's bulletproof. I went to this place and it cost me money to get that on, right? But that's just the way the setup is.
There you go. Oh, it's comfortable.
It's beautiful.
That's great. You got good room.
8-inch mattress, lots of room, one
Yeah.
step in. If I went, see what I'm saying, if I went higher,
Yeah.
now I only got, I'm a big man, I got to crawl in there.
Yeah.
But one step and in,
You're good.
and I'm good to go, right?
Right on.
I got room if I want to get a diesel heater on this side here.
Perfect. Do it just like ours.
Just like you guys.
Yeah.
Right? Peace, brother!
Once Aaron headed out for the day, Willie came up with a genius idea.
Say hello, Bruce.
Hey guys,
So is Bruce Lou, what's your YouTube channel again?
Bruce VanLife Jr.
Bruce VanLife Jr. Go check him out, guys, on YouTube. Give him all your support. And we're cooking up some bacon here and some hamburgers, and I got some cheese and beans. Oh my God, it's gonna taste so good. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching.
It's our good old friend Willie, and he's cooking up a scoff.
Hey, everybody.
He's from Newfoundland as well. Gave me this flag, and we got him cooking up
It's gonna be some good too.
We got a big meal going on here. Should be a good one, Willie. Thank you, buddy.
Right on. Awesome.
And we got this guy over here hanging it as well. Say hi, Happy Pants. Paying attention. Say hi, Happy Pants.
Hi, Happy Pants.
We need to catch up back, man.
No, it's mine now.
These burgers are real good, Willie. Thank you, brother.
Right on, buddy.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Chef Willie.
Chef Willie to the rescue.
Chef Willie feeding hungry
Hungry homeless people.
people.
Sharing ketchup. So on the note of having great friends and a great meal right here in the Walmart parking lot, we end the video off here. I will update everyone on if and when I get my diesel heater working again. But until then, remember, never give up on living life, because life is the most precious thing we have. I leave you all off now with a drifting montage of me in my tiny home, because after watching everybody else have fun, it was finally time for me to have some. See you all in the next one. That's right. Get ready for some more winter fun. Woohoo!